Hi guys, it's Hazel and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. This is part 2 of the books I acquired in October during my retreat, and I am putting it in the playlist, What's in My Bookcase, because I know that there were many of you that really enjoyed that series. Now, of course, because these are new, they are not sorted in any way by subject matter or genre or anything like that. In the last episode, I told you I picked up 4 magazines at the Canmore Library. They were 25 cents each. So these are the others. And of course, I gravitated to these because at the time I was still working on the tree journals. And so it's the New Yorker. Now, I don't know about any, I've never subscribed to it or anything, but I can't imagine it's always been this skinny. $9. $9. So, you know, maybe this will end up being a glue book. Who knows? Yoga journal and yoga journal. So that was it for those kinds of things. Okay, what should I do first? Maybe I'll go with the bigger ones again. Landscape graphics. Now I don't, okay, this would have been half price during that sale. 8.5 by 11, and of course it is landscape. So, are these pages not great? They're almost divided as folio pages, just, well, they are divided, most of them anyway. So, schematics and drawings of outdoor settings, I guess hardscaping, that sort of thing. Oh, look at all those vehicles. See, I didn't really flip through this. I just grabbed it because I don't need to be sold on something like this. So wouldn't that be a great page? Cool, so cool. Okay, that, oh, seating. I think I did see this when I flipped it through. Fences. Walls and steps, paving, fountains and reflecting pools, rocks and boulders, palms, shrubs, coniferous trees, like it just goes on and on and on and on. Desert plants. So how many pages are there? Over 200, well, counting the index. That was a score. Now, these were, so I paid $1.50 for each of these. Now, there was a whole series. I picked Renaissance and Age of Enlightenment. So let's just see. I got my $1.50 worth. All 10 3/4 by almost 9. Let me give you a year. Time Life Books. 1966. Oh, let me just step back for a moment and tell you a date on this. 2002. Okay. Now what did I say this one was? Oh, Age of Enlightenment. A bravura of glass. So, possibilities for fussy cutting things here. Look at all the tapestry work. This is almost like ready-made pockets and tags right there. Love that carved wood. So again, these things, you know, if a person were doing a theme journal, great, but they'd also work just fine in an art journal. Paper's quite nice too. Cracking the Mysteries of the Animal Kingdom. Can you imagine a man today dressing up like that? I don't think so. Silhouette. Sometimes I plunge right into these videos just to, you know, be respectful of your time. And I don't pause long enough to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for continuing to choose to spend time with me. There is nothing, well, other than our health perhaps, nothing more precious to each of us than time. So when you choose to spend time with me, I very much appreciate it. Look at all of these. Vienna, Florence, Geneva. Those would be, you know, to cut those out. They could certainly be scattered over a couple of master boards. Geez, I almost hit the phone with that one. And this one is Renaissance, so I'm sure it's going to be similar. And again, you know, if space and money were not an object, I probably should have bought the whole set, but hey, even I haven't. You may not believe that, but hey, I have limits. A painstaking study of the myriad forms of life. Those are cool too. These architectural things always impress me. Look at this guy. Anyway, you get the message. You know, people talk about crime and violence today, but honestly, there's a guy with a hatchet. These two guys are knifing somebody. This guy's, oh, let's not talk about that. So, yeah, I think violence has been part of the human experience forever. Okay, my best ever collection of fairy tales, rhymes, and bedtime stories. 11.5 by 8 3/4. An enchanting treasury of 145 classic fables for children. Doesn't that just jump out at you? Shiny paper. Cute, 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 cute. Look at all these little kids to fussy cut. Rub-a-dub-dub. And the nice part is that some of these are really short. Hey diddle diddle, you know, like half a page and you got her covered. There is quite a gloss to this, but the sly fox and the little red hen. Aha. More chickens. Carol? Noah's Ark. Country, Town Mouse and Country Mouse. The Princess and the Pea. So really it is classics. Jack and the Beanstalk. I forgot to look for a year on this. 2013. That's a cool one. Maybe I should do this pile beside me. Anne of Green Gables birthday book. This is a little guy. 6.5 roughly by 4 3/4. Somebody ripped out the cover sheet there. Probably had their name on it. These are cute little pages. It looks like, oh no, sewn in. Is it? If I find the center, I can tell you. Yes, sewn in. So I will deconstruct this because these are cute little folio pages. And as we've said before, and as you no doubt know, these kind of little date books typically have a large image, small images, lots of lined sheets, lots of cute little more chickens. There's no escaping chickens. And I have to say, I never gave a second thought really to chickens. I mean, we raised them when I was a kid, but until Carol and her thing for chickens. So yeah, these little books are great, especially if you can get them at a decent price. Confident, 50 mindfulness and relaxation exercises to boost your self-esteem. 6 3/4 by 5.5. This has one of those nice feeling covers, you know, sort of textural. And I think I grabbed this one because of the, you know, these kinds of strong pages. They're sort of affirmation, they're images. Coloring pages. You know, again, one of those little pocket size, well, not pocket size exactly, a little bigger than that. You know, like if a person wanted to do a journal with some affirmations included, certainly there's lots to choose from here. Or maybe I spotted the Paisleys and couldn't say no. Anyway, another lovely little book. I paid more for this one. Excuse me. The Illustration Handbook, 8 by 6. A guide to the world's greatest illustrations. So, of course, there are going to be some vintage ones, I'm sure. Oh, great. Roman numerals. So, 1990? I think it's 1990. So, again, many illustrations, all sorts and styles. And I wonder if it is chronological. 1940 to 1969. I guess an index would be better than flipping. Okay, 1970 to 1990. Now, is that the last chapter? Is there... okay, chapter 4. Yeah, that's the latest chapter. So 1970 to 1990. So that is 30 years old, over 30 years old, even the most recent ones. So Kate Greenaway. So I thought that was really cool. Okay, Eyewitness Explorers. So I like Eyewitness books because of the illustrations. They're typically geared towards children, 8 by almost 6. This one is a small one. Usually they're quite a bit bigger. And this one is called Butterflies and Moths. So, you know, you had me at that. Again, this is, oh, these are sewn in as well. So imagine the cute folio pages these could make. And when you can use the whole page intact, number one, you don't need to fussy cut, and you don't need to make decisions or wreck the back side. Let me find, yeah, strings, so I can easily take that apart and use it. We never get tired of butterflies and moths. Here is another little golden book. This one is Lady, and as you know, I've added a number of these now. I have a collection. This one, do we have a year here? 1954. A little bit rough condition, but you would expect it to be so when it's that old. Almost 70 years. Cool. This is a cute one, the Little Golden Book of Hymns. Of course, a person has to try to clean these covers. Oh, I don't need to keep measuring these. What is the year here? 1985. Look how cute that is. Music. Away in a Manger. Wouldn't that, I might need to rip that out just for my Christmas. Now, I don't think I've dissected a Little Golden Book, so I'm sure there's an art to it. But just so, so sweet. And this one is Prayers for Children. That could, if I wet that, it would probably, yeah, it would lift whatever that was stuck to that. This one is 74, but originally 1952. So, oh my goodness, is that not precious? Maybe not realistic, but precious nonetheless. It's kind of nice that these pages have the border around them as well. The border is so beautiful too. Anyway, you Little Golden Book aficionados, you have, I'm sure, are familiar with all those titles. Okay, Lori and the Yellow Curtains. 8.5 by 5 3/4. Book, pocket, and card. Now this book is basically monochromatic. It just has the yellow highlights. And we know that black and yellow are very effective together. Large print, 1962. The Dalesman Bedside Book. I don't even remember picking this up. Lovely little red cover. Looks like it's mint condition. What do we have for 1993? So what's in this one? Why did I pick this up? Oh, there, that's the reason. Okay, so basically it looks as though there are black and white illustrations. And then there are photos. Oh, and there's some art as well. Those buildings. Love those buildings. The photos don't really appeal to me that much, but hey. More photos. So this must be a guy's autobiography or something. So I'd gravitate to the paintings as opposed to the illustrations. I mean the paintings as opposed to the photos. This is a Please Read to Me book, 8 by 8. 500 Words to Grow On, illustrated by Harry McNaught. 1973. Oh my goodness. Cuteness factor or what? Doesn't that look good enough to eat? Mind you, I skipped breakfast this morning. Maybe that explains it. Okay, Speedball textbook. I think I might have one of these. Lord only knows where. 8 by 5 3/4. So, of course, Speedball. Chancery cursive. So there are all of these. Now the paper's glossy, but again, who cares? So it's calligraphy, lettering type stuff. And then at the back here, more decorative, or using those things in show cards and display ads. And a few color things here at the back. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, this one is kind of gross. Tell Me a Mitzi. 7.5 by 9. Landscape. So maybe these aren't the cutest kids in the world, but look at the great pages. By gum, chewing on premises allowed. Cute. I knew I had a good reason for picking this up. Okay, creative activities program. This one, I think there were a few of these, but again, I have a limit. 8 1/4 by what? 9.5. Looks like sewn in signatures. This is 1974. So it looks like this maybe was a teacher's aid or, text. Well, I mean, an activity book that teachers could rely on when their minds are fried from the pressure of the job. So again, a world of great pictures, some things that lend themselves to being belly bands perhaps, or side tucks. There's another one. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's possible to just work with what you have, like back this onto something heavier, fussy cut around, and you've got a side pocket. Yeah, cool. I think I might already have this book. This one is Cowboys, 8 by 8 probably. Another one of those. Let's see the year. Probably had this when my kids were 1978. So, you know, that sort of rural lifestyle. My family had a horse when we were, you know, say in high school. But we as a couple, our nuclear family here have not ever had horses. Not a huge cat person. However, I know there are cat people out there. What is this? Gift with purchase. Cat Lover's Companion. Oh, so it's sort of a day book. 1992. Oh, cat horoscope. Well, let's see what a Pisces cat would be like. Pisces is the 12th and last sign of the zodiac. Dreamy. Piscean cat is an idealist unless constantly reminded otherwise will exist in a fantasy world of its own making. Imaginative and warm-hearted, delightful creatures are among life's gentle folk, full of understanding and forgiveness, and far too nice for this wicked world. The feline Piscean will avoid awkward situations like the plague, veering into the warm security of sunnier, trouble-free waters. And there's a whole other paragraph. I'll save you that. So, photos, space, illustrations. Those illustrations are certainly pretty cool. And I don't see any markings here on anything. You know, sometimes people have good intentions and they'll start the first few pages. And then when they give up, they rip them out and donate them. Collect, print, and paint from nature. This one is 9 1/4 by 8. This looks like a bit of an oldie. 63. Nice to get a book, a library pocket, and a card. So pretty simplistic brush strokes. So he's showing basically how you can draw some trees. Oh, wouldn't this have been good for my tree journal? So these kinds of things are really instructive because, you know, a person doesn't have to paint a masterpiece to get an idea across. Cool. Oh, this is cool. The Apron Book. Look at that great cover. 9 1/4 by 7 1/4. Now you can tell that it's cool. Oh, there's a pattern back here. Oh, this is a pocket. The seal has not been broken, so there's a pattern there for a basic apron. Let's see the year on this. It's quite new, I would say. Too bad it's got a bit of shine. 2006. Oh, not quite as new as I thought. Every apron tells a story. Okay, so here we're getting into... that's from 67, that one. Like, remember when gingham was such a big deal and people did all that cross-stitching on it because it was the squares were already there? Visit secondhand stores around Halloween when aprons are often spotted in the costume racks. Never would have thought of that. The money apron. Oh my goodness. Available in a rainbow of colors, tulle was easily stitched into aprons. Tulle aprons matching the mints served at weddings and showers were provided by the bride's mother and worn by her friends who acted as helpers with such important duties as receiving line coordinator, guest book registrar, punch pourer, ribbon collector, and cookie platter arranger. A tulle apron can be embellished for any holiday or events with dabs of tacky glue and decorations appropriate to theme, as well as provide a new way to give a gift of cash. So those are bills rolled up and tied onto there with ribbon. Huh. Never have I ever heard of that. Okay, and there are the instructions. Me, Jane apron. Not your grandma's apron. So expected mother, the honeymoon is over. I hate housework. There's a close-up of that design. Hand-painted flowers on the pocket of this taffeta waist apron. How practical, to be honest, is a taffeta apron? Certainly you'd never touch your grubby little hands to it. Christmas aprons. So it looks like it's, some trivia, some old-fashioned images. I don't know, are these called bib aprons? I thought that's what I thought them to be. Housework apron. Baby bath wrapper. That looks like chenille, for heaven's sakes. Oh, look, it's a little golden book. Susie's New Stove, the Little Chef's Cookbook. That is cute. Of course, I've never seen that one. These were fancy, dancy things. I've got a few aprons in my stash that I've bought secondhand. Again, I don't like cooking. I mean, I do it because somebody has to, but because I'm usually in farm clothes, I wouldn't wear an apron anyway, but I have a few that I should be using in crafting. Oh, spent quite a bit of time on that. Now, look at this. The Saturday Evening Post All-American Cookbook. So 10 1/4 by 8 and a bit. This is going to be a treasure. And of course, because it's a Saturday Evening Post, most of the 37 full-color, full-page illustrations are reproduced from paintings by Norman Rockwell. Oh, and then they name a few others. Also post advertisements and cartoons, as well as amusing cooking hints reproduced from a 1755 cookbook in Mrs. Turgeon's personal collection. Cute. You know how I feel about indexes. That's a bit of a glossary there. There's an old-fashioned. So a full page. Now this would have been a cover from September 1943. An old ad. I guess maybe some of those tips are just embedded in the book somewhere. This one, 1967. I just thought this was a heck of a book. 1919. $1909. These all came from ads. 1923. There's our guy, Norman Rockwell, 1954. That's a Rockwell, I would say, for sure. I can't show you every single page because we'll be here all day. 1919. But look, it just goes on and on and on. And there are actually some recipes in here too. Christmas. Suckling pig. Anyway, what a treasure this was. Cover is the same. Great condition. And what did I look up the year? This is an iconic 1943. 1976. So that's getting to be pretty old as well. Okay, this I remember as a textbook. 10 and a half. 8 and a bit. Now, I don't know that we can blame the book itself for my lack of science know-how, but doesn't give a year. This is copyright, but or maybe at this point I was still grasping what they were trying to teach, but when you had to pick in high school, you had to pick either biology, chem, or physics to take, 10, 20, 30. That was when it became very scary. But just, great illustrations. So I wonder what grade this would have been directed at. Certainly they eased us into subject matter a lot more gently than they do these days. You're in grade 2 and you've written your first novel? Oh, that's great. Look at that. We got to salvage that tape. If you don't have a container, a box, a bag, a something for your salvage tape, then you're missing out on something great. Yeah, nostalgia. Okay, this is different. Floss Flowers, a unique approach to embroidery by Virginia Chapman. Just over 11. Almost 8.5. Now it's kind of bulgy because there is this kit and it appears to be intact. So there's a piece of fabric that is pretty fine. Look at the length of that needle. Wow. A stamped design. Some threads. Oh, maybe somebody has been in this because Bossa Nova Rose, that's what this is. Bunch of thread. And what are these? More needles. needles. Oh, traveling teacher, author, dealer. Brazilian embroidery. Anyway, I'll put all this back. You're not here. So now that bulk is removed, let's see, can we tell? This is so faded. 1994, cost $10 plus tax. Oh, this is in BC. This woman is from Portland, Oregon. So, oh my goodness, I think this would be so much work, but it's no work at all to turn that into a belly band. Yeah, I can't see ever doing this, to be perfectly honest. But the drawings, the kit itself. So basically, this is the only color illustration. So, okay, another kid's book, 12 by 9. Best known fairy stories, retold by Lori Leaf. Is that that's a T. Leet Hodge. Sewn in, we can see that already. Big pages. Look at how wonderful this is. You know, for those of us that are turned on by, let me just make sure we're still, those of us that are turned on by visual stimulation, could you not spend a considerable amount of time just looking at this and taking it all in? Oh, there's a crystal ball. Oh, there are some mice that are looking. Look at all the stuff on the mantle. And then you look over here. And there's a dog and a bone. And so the day goes. Published in England in 1983. So, 6 fairy tales. Because the pages are so very big, the illustrations consequently are big as well. You know, if someone took all the axes and knives and whatever out of some of these books, would there be anything left? Even a wooden spoon. Cut out these girls. Rip. Yikes, all those frogs. Is this the long ago version of Clutching Your Pearls? There's a rip too. Is there some tape to salvage? Oh, somebody taped their hair into there. That's a little bit disgusting. Anyway, look how cute. Okay, couple more piles. Someday Soon. 8 by 6. This is in sufficiently good condition that it could be a journal cover, just with those little kids on there. What is this? Somebody put a sticker on there or a decal on there. This is a different, we don't know what year. social studies curriculum. $19.48. Cool. Black and white and colored illustrations. This was before you had to be a skinny mini to get into a book. Cute. Have to look at this one in more detail. Okay, what's this? Ways of Living in Many Lands. You can tell it's got the old duct tape repair. 8 1/4 by almost 6. 1937, 1938. So I imagine this is not at all politically correct. Nice paper. Indians, Bedouins, Lapps, Chinese, Swiss, Mexican. How we live in the United States. So what picture would you put? So black and white photos. Oh, these monochrome things are nice. Piñata. So I guess they focused on those countries. So there's Switzerland, China. That's cute. This is a poem. Each little picture is a Chinese word. You can see how hard it would be for boys and girls to learn to write in Chinese. Yeah, I would say so. A little bit more complicated than ABC. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, this is a gift book set, special occasions, birthdays, and anniversaries. So, yeah, each of these was held in with this little, essentially belly band type of a structure. Special occasions, birthdays, and anniversaries. This is like the date book part. Sewn in signatures, that's always a pleasure. And lots of, and the nice thing about this particular one, it's not glossy, so lots there to choose from. Now, remember when we all had telephones? And we made, no date. And we put them alphabetically in a book, and then somebody moved and you had to cross them out and move them into another tab. Their name stayed the same, but their address changed. Anyway, we don't scoff at anything that is lined that we can write on, so that's cool. And of course, this in itself, oh, I see one is upside down, could easily turn. It would almost, okay, that's cracked there, but it would almost be like a Midori thing where you could, instead of having an elastic holding things in place, you could tuck something in each side to hold a bunch of signatures together. Okay, we better speed up a bit here. Correlated dictation and transcription. 9 1/4 by 6 and a bit. Now, I wish I would have, copyright 1965. I wish I'd have paid attention in typing, and I'd be a lot better at it. But this is Sir Isaac Pitman. So, look how I feel about indexes. Throw in a little shorthand. What does Edmonton look like? That's it there. Appendices. Look at this. It might as well be hieroglyphics. Like, this blows my mind. I could not have survived doing this. So, if anybody out there knows how to use shorthand, take shorthand, which I guess is a dying art now with voice-activated everything and dictaphones and, well, there must be a new version of dictaphone, but just, we can all dictate something into our phones, for heaven's sakes. And voice recognition software and all of that. So very cool. Did I say what year it was? 65. Okay, a few more. This is a book I remember. Now, did I have this, or did kids of mine have it? Who knows? Under the Apple Tree. Sometimes he didn't put years in these, because they probably wanted to, they wanted to make generations learn from the same book. Cute. Cute, 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 cute. This, this never gets tiring. This is a book that has been through the mill. 9 by 6 and a bit. Oh, kind of gross. Again, no year. Finding New Neighbors. I hate when people bend corners. Pets and Playtime. Nice that there are these, I guess the population is more rural-based back in the day. Farming was bigger, it was different then. So a lot of these books have farming pages in them, which is kind of cool. Maybe if they did more of that these days, kids would know where food came from. Well, it comes from Safeway, of course. I couldn't find a year on this one, but Business Filing and Records Control. Again, I didn't have the, I don't know. The more I think about it, I think I'm a square peg in a round hole. 9 by 6, roughly. 1967. Kind of a cool end hitter. I couldn't have survived, I don't think, in these kind of settings. A whole book on filing. Doesn't that blow your mind? Sorry. But look at all the different forms and the little schematic drawings and geographic systems, alphabetic systems, requisition, charge, and follow-up controls. Who knew that there was so much to this? 1/5 cut, 1/3 cut, 1/2 cut, and a full cut. I didn't know that file folders had different names attached to their shapes. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Okay. I should maybe I try to end on maybe a nicer book than. Okay. Book of London, History, Buildings, People, Things to See and Do. This is a bit bigger, a book, 10 by 7 3/4. So this is actually like a visitor's guide. So, a fun map. These things that would lend themselves to being journaling cards. Jack the Ripper gets a card. Charles Dickens gets a card. Sherlock Holmes gets a card. And it's just the way, I kind of like the way it's structured with these teeny little uniform little things that you can use. Some people to fussy cut. Certainly probably more user-friendly and easy to plow through than a Lonely Planet guidebook. Or, you know, similar things. What's the year on this baby? 87. Okay, so a lot of things have changed in the last 30-some years. But cool. Okay. This book doesn't feel like it's even been cracked open. Okay. Half of 75 cents. This is just a book of photographs. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that's like where you take your own photos and then pay somebody to bind them for you. But they bleed to the edge, so there is no margin to worry about cutting off. This is probably about 8 by 8. Pretty darn close. So, oh my goodness. Look at those poppies. And the paper is heavier. Glued in. Anyway, and the final one, the Garden Trellis, Designs to Build and Vines to Cultivate, 9.5 by 6 and something. I don't know if this should have been my finale or not, but that's just how it worked out. Okay, what have we got here? This is 1996, text and illustrations by Ferris Cook. Fairly thick paper, invasive plants. Definitely a different style to these illustrations. But if a person were doing a gardening journal, wouldn't it be cool, sewn in signatures, to include some of these pages, like with these trellis designs? And it's got dimensions. A person could actually build their own. And a few kind of simplistic floral illustrations. Tangling with vines. That's clever. Honeysuckle doesn't grow. I think I tried that years ago. Anyway, that is it, guys. So I think now I'm probably caught up with my books. I should say that when I was thrifting, I found many Reader's Digest books, like the nice ones, the old ones with the printed covers. I didn't think there was any point in showing you those, but let's just say I now have enough of those Reader's Digest books that I think I need to relocate them to my downstairs space and keep some of the more prime real estate for things that, that I'm currently working on. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you and your presence, your subscription, your thumbs up, your comments, and every aspect of the support you are providing this channel. And yes, we'll definitely see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.